perfectionist is a person who refuses to accept any standard short of perfection. Someone who is obsessed with the smallest detail. Someone who really takes this wanting to be ideal to the next level. Being a perfectionist is a silent killer of your dreams and goals. Being a perfectionist keeps you in a box. You literally put yourself in a box and throw the key away. You can never complete tasks. You forever find yourself procrastinating. If you do have a lot on your plate, which you tend to put a lot on your plate, you would be the same one going crazy because you want to make sure that everything is perfect. Everything is exactly how you think perfection looks to you. The issue with this, you get nowhere being a perfectionist. And I had to learn this the hard way. I have been a perfectionist for years. And to be honest, I am still a perfectionist. I try my very hardest to not be perfect. And I know that sounds weird, but I have a thing with just going the extra mile and just wanting things to be perfect. I can't explain it. You just know. I don't know. You just know. I was raised like that. I'm like that now in my adult life. And although I am much better than before, because now I am aware of it, so I am changing it through new beliefs that I am adopting, I still feel like I come to points where I just feel like I want things to be perfect. Like right now, with this YouTube video, I have been putting off creating this video for several months, about 6 months. I got this camera in June or July of 2024. Right now we're in January 2025, and I'm finally creating a video that I know for sure I'm gonna edit and I'm gonna publish. All the other videos that I shot or did, they're just sitting in my gallery because I don't think they were good enough. And although that may be true, I do think a lot of that also is just me overthinking into that perfectionist syndrome. So I am gonna show you what it's like to be a recovering perfectionist, doing all that I do every single day. My name is Brittney Marshall, and I am the founder and CEO of an incredible nanny agency in South Florida. I absolutely love all things personal development, all things learning, growth, books. That is all me. I like to digest all the information, so much information as possible, and I like to implement that information in my life. I have been on this journey for about 8 years now. I started this journey, I was a completely different person. If you saw me on the street right now and you knew me from 8 years ago, you would not think that I am that person on the street because I have massively shifted my entire life. I was once an employee, and I have been working since I was 14 years old. I got my first job at a retail store at Publix as a bagger. From there, I also was picking up little babysitting gigs at 14, 15 as well too, while I wasn't at work or if I wasn't at school. From there, I have just been working all throughout the years, and I got to a turning point in my life where when I got fired at Publix at 19 years old. And I remember when I didn't know what I was gonna do, who I was gonna be, I didn't know what my future would look like. And God has funny ways to answer those questions for you when you're open. So after I got fired, I immediately just went all in to babysitting. I had clients that I would go to whenever they needed me, but now because I had an open schedule, I was still in school, but in college or a tech school. That's the thing. That's why I didn't post the other videos, because I sometimes get carried away. I need to stay in the present moment. So I'm 19 now, jobless, but I still had my opportunity. I still had my clients that I would babysit for date nights, when the kids weren't feeling well or whatever, and whenever they needed me, especially now more than ever since I didn't have a job. So then after a few months, and just working kind of like so infrequent, I was feeling not like myself because I, at heart, am a workaholic and I wasn't working as much as I knew I could be working. So one day I got a call. I definitely think this was a manifestation call where I was like just thinking, and someone called me, said that they had a friend. She was looking for a babysitter. She had 4 kids. She needed full-time. She had a certain type of budget that she wanted to stay within. And at the time, being 19, I am ecstatic. I'm like, yes, I also need a job. I didn't say this to them, but at the moment, I needed a job. I needed some type of stability. I wanted, like enough hours to make me feel like I was being productive in the workforce, because that's what I'm used to. And yeah, it just felt so perfectly together, especially even thinking about it now. So when I went to the job interview, immediately everything was like very well. We clicked, the kids super cute, and I started working for them the next month, or maybe 2 months after. She gave me her full-time schedule, and from there I was working with her every single day, every night. She was a nuclear medicine technician, and she was on per diem, so her hours are all kind of hours outside of her normal schedule. So she would call me even in the middle of the night and say, "Hey Brittney, I just got called in. Can you get here?" And I know she had a time limit, so I would be like, "Yeah." So I'll run to my car and drive over to her. She was about 30 minutes away from me, and I would do that over and over and over again. I was with the mom for about 2 to 3 years, and then I transferred to the dad side. So then I was still balancing both of them. And then I ended up working for the oldest daughter's best friend, mom, and family. And from there, a funny thing happened. I was feeling so overworked. I was working with all 3 families at one time, every single day. And I had a few other appointments outside of them, but they were my 3 main families that I would see literally on a consistent basis. So I would be at mom's house, and then when the kids go to dad's house, because they had a 50-50 custody, I would go to dad's house. And then when the best friend's mom needed me, which was at all kinds of hours, any type of day, I would go there and I would be with them. So I basically was not home, you can say. And for me, I loved it. I love being productive. I love feeling useful. I love making sure that I am working. So it got to a point where I was balancing all of them. It was a lot on my plate. And after some conversations with my significant other, he ended up telling me, "Oh, why don't you," it didn't sound just like this, but basically in so many words, "Why don't you start a business? Why don't you have some girls work for you, and you send them out, and they can help you take on these families," and in some type of context like that. And I said, "No, I don't want to be in the babysitting business. I want to get out of it. I don't want to do that." And after just, some thinking, some thoughts, some months, several weeks, days have went by. I'm still working for everyone. I'm starting to feel older because I started with them when I was 19, but now I'm like 24, and I'm like, okay, I definitely want to do something else with my life. I definitely want to, dream bigger and go further. I was also, again, all into personal development at this time. So I was reading a lot. I was having so many ideas, and I just knew I wanted more. So long story short, I ended up putting out my first graphic that said Brittney's Babysitting Services, and the business was born from then. So what I do now is what was born when I was 24 years old. Incredible Sitters. At the time, we weren't named that. After some time of people calling, people asking, "Oh, am I getting Brittney? Oh, am I getting Brittney?" I immediately knew that I cannot have a business with just my name, because then they would think that Brittney is coming out to them, and I did not want anyone to feel like that. I wanted them to know that it was other sitters, other nannies, and incredible staff. So Incredible Sitters was, that name also, I don't remember how the name came about. I have to think about it. But I know it came through, it just came through. I don't know, someone called me incredible or something like that when I was babysitting, and I said, you know what, this can be the name, Incredible Babysitters. I feel like I am incredible. I was incredible for all the families that I serviced, and it just clicked. So I was going back and forth between a name, but now we are fully Incredible Sitters, and I run this full time. I oversee over 100 employees on a regular basis, and we have a very incredible culture. Let me look at this. So this is what I do regularly. I'm always communicating on my phone. I have people always communicating with me, always reaching out, either a parent, an employee, or one of my team members on the systems team who runs the operations of the business that I run. So besides that, let's see. So this is where I'm not being a perfectionist, okay? I am just gonna be myself. I am learning this YouTube. Like, I never thought I would create a YouTube channel, but I'm not gonna lie, I think YouTube is really my thing. I love YouTube. I love learning things from YouTube. YouTube is literally my university. I didn't go to real college per se, but YouTube, I even have YouTube subscription. That's how serious I am, because I utilize YouTube so much. It's my home and I love it. So I'm very excited to be creating this channel. I want to provide so much value. I do think there needs to be more creators like me in my industry, and just showing the truth of what it's like to be a full-time business owner. And I did not mention, I work from my house. So this is my 2-bedroom apartment. I have also been here for a while now, for maybe 4 or 5 years. And this was actually my first apartment ever as well. I love this place, and I'm gonna stay in this place until we hit a certain revenue goal in the company. So I won't release that number, but just know when I move from this place, it's because we hit that certain revenue goal. And I'll release it soon, but no. Anyway, so yeah, I love YouTube. So I'm so happy to be here, and I can't wait to hear like certain questions and certain topics everyone wants to talk about. I again have been on this personal development journey for over 8 years. I have read over 300 books on self-help, personal growth, business. I love learning, I love reading, I love trying new things, I love challenging myself, I love being my best, my very, very best. My best is, way above what I'm even thinking right now. And I love talking about human potential. I feel like we have so much potential. Seriously, we have so much potential, and we're not tapping into that potential enough. So I want to be the person now to kind of show what it's like to be tapping into your potential. I am challenging myself every single day. Recently, about 5 weeks ago, I just joined the 5 a.m. club. This is something that is very near and dear to me. I have been wanting to wake up early for months now. I felt like, I needed that to up my level, up my game, up my, my everything, whether business, personal, values, family, everything. So for me to be able to do that now through challenging myself, being a part of this 5 a.m. club, I feel very happy and very satisfied, so much more satisfied than I did months ago. And that's just because honestly, running a business is a lot. I know we hear that, I know, or maybe you don't hear that, or maybe, you think that it's all rainbows, like, some people do think. It is not like that. Business is an on thing. I absolutely love it, but it is a challenge. It is a sport, and it's not for the weak. And for me, I have a very interesting, business as well. So I can basically always work anytime, all throughout the day. So it takes, but it also gives, because honestly, I have so much freedom now. I am doing what I love to do. I feel so grateful and so blessed to be in the position I am today, because again, I did not start out as a CEO. I was just a regular worker at Publix. I was a babysitter, became a nanny, and now I am the CEO of this company, and we are doing very well for ourselves, thank God. So I just got another text. So again, this is what I do all day. I'm texting. And this is my very first video, so that's that perfectionist kicking in. I'm thinking like, this video could be better. No, this is the best video, and it's gonna be the best video. The type of value that I'm providing is what's making it the best. This is what it's like to be a real business owner who works from home. And I do have to mention, my significant other also has his own business, completely different than what I do. And we both live in the same apartment. So if you thought one business was hard, try 2 empires in one house. That is a whole different story. So I'm very blessed. He's very blessed. We're very thankful for God to bless our family with 2 empires. And I would love to show you what it's like behind our scenes on a regular basis. Why not? So yeah, so I created my vision board about 4 weeks ago, well, right before January. And on that vision board, I had YouTube on it. So I'm very happy that I'm doing this first video. And again, this video is the very best video. I feel like, you know, again, in the beginning of what I said, in the beginning, a lot of people are letting their dreams and goals die with them when they can just throw away the perfectionism syndrome and just do it. Do what you say you want to do. Do what you want to do. Like me, I can be so ashamed right now saying I want to be a YouTuber in 2025. I can feel so like, what the hell? Like you're just finding this out? You're just, you know, trying to get on the bandwagon. You're just like, all these thoughts could be going through my head. But instead, you know what I'm thinking? I'm like, damn, yeah, good for you. You have a new dream. You have a new goal that you want to pursue. Yes, go for it. You know what YouTube can do for your life? You know what YouTube can do for your family? Go ahead and do what you want to do. So that's what I'm doing right now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It matters what you think. It matters what you want as well. For me, I want to make a very big impact in this world. I don't want to live a small life. I want to live a big life. And when I say big, I'm saying big B. A very big life. Christoph and I were just watching the School of Hard Knocks. And he was interviewing the guy who made $300 million. And the guy and him are interviewing in the guy's garage. The guy has like 20 cars inside of his car garage. That's the type of life I'm looking at. Not to say I'm so materialistic, but honestly, I am too. Like, I don't want to live a small life. I don't want to say, okay, I'll just settle for 1 car or even 2 cars. No, if I can get 20 cars, if I can get a private jet, if I can fly all across the world wherever I want to go, if I can take care of my family better than anyone else can take care of their family, if I can take care of myself, if I can create a life that I love completely, that I'm very passionate about, yes, I want that life. Yes, that is the life that I'm gonna go for. So I'm not dreaming small. You should not be dreaming small. This is only one life. We're only promised one life. Everyone is acting like they have 1,000 lives or 100 lives like cats or 10 lives. No, you don't. You only have one life. And what you do in this one life matters more than anything, because you don't want to be the person now that is on your deathbed and you're saying, damn, I wish I did more. Damn, I wish I took that risk. Damn, I wish I didn't care about what people thought of me. Damn, I wish I just went for it. I'm gonna be that person, honestly, that say, I'm so happy I went for it. Okay, God, you ready for me? You know, God forbid, I don't want to go now because I didn't live that life just yet. However, when I live that life, and I'm living that life, when I'm taking this risk that I'm taking right now, building my business, you know, to over $100 million in revenue on a annual basis, and I'm, going way outside of my comfort zone in my personal lives, and I'm living up to my values. All of that is playing a part in my future life. And to say that is to say, I am very happy about this YouTube video, and I am very happy to publish it. I'm very happy to edit it, and I'm very happy to create another video and another video and another video, because you know what I know? That it's contributing to my dream life. And that's the life that I am all about. I don't want anything outside of my dream life. I don't want, not my dream friends. I don't want not my dream husband. I don't want not my dream, house, bedroom, whatever. I don't want that. I don't want to settle for that. So this will be a very interesting ride for you to see someone that is just, very serious about what they want. I know what I want, and I am going to get what I want. So I have to check this now because the employee's texting me. By the way, I have the most incredible employees, like not even joking. They are so incredible, and they live up to the incredible name. And I'm just so grateful, seriously, that I'm able to sit right here at my desk, just so grateful and so proud of the people who are holding up our names and making sure that other people feel that way about us too. So I do have a few activities. I have a few tasks that I need to do. I have to complete billing. I have to start payroll for this week from last week's hours. I do have to go through a couple contracts and a few other things. So I'm gonna do some work for a bit. I'll bring you along with me so you can kind of see a little behind the scenes. After I work, I will be sharing a few books that I read recently that I loved and maybe did not love. I don't know if I didn't love any of them, but I'm gonna be sharing my recent books that I read, maybe like the last 7 books that I read. And I'm gonna share my thoughts on them. I'm also going to go to the gym for a bit. This would actually be my 2 a day because I run every single morning with the 5 a.m. routine. So I will just be going to do like certain workouts for certain areas of my body. So today I'm gonna focus on my legs, my ass, my thighs, and maybe my back and my abs. And then that would be my 2 a day. And then I'm going to also, then I'll also come back. I will show you the books that I will be reading soon. So first I'll show you the books that I've read already, my thoughts, my suggestions, and if I think you should get the book. And I'll also be showing my books that I'm going to start reading very soon. I also started Brittney's book club recently, maybe like 2 months now, and it is so beautiful. I feel like it's already thriving. It's 8 of us in the chat right now. Our Instagram is I am Brittney's book club, or Brittney's book club, or no, actually I am Brittney's book club. Yeah, I'll tag it here, but I absolutely love this book club already. It just feels so normal and natural, and like it feels, when you feel like something is supposed to be, like it just feels like, it just goes together naturally, like it's supposed to be. That's how I feel about the book club. I feel like it's supposed to be, and I am so excited to create a space where ladies can thrive, where ladies can feel like they can, be their best selves, where they feel like they can challenge themselves, not feel sorry for themselves, and just do so much better than they're currently doing. Right now, women are doing very well. But I do think that there's still a lot of women who is suppressed, who is traumatized, who is just not living to their fullest potential. And not just women, but I think most of the world. And I want to be able to create a space that, fosters more growth, because even me, like teaching the girls, I feel like I'm also learning so much too, like even about myself, about other people, about personalities. Although I learned so much about that in my business. I learned, everything in the alphabet when it comes to business. But I'm a person who don't really have a lot of friends as an adult, like genuine friends. So I feel like this book club is like opening the way for that, because I feel like my friends in childhood, we just have honestly outgrown each other. Everyone, you know, goes through those type of phases, I think. And I think it's good. I think if you have friends from childhood, maybe you did not really grow, you know, from your childhood self. But if you don't have friends from childhood, and that sounds a little weird, but I'll maybe talk about that in another video. But I just feel like when you want to grow and you want to be better than who you are, there's going to be a lot of sacrifice, a lot of unlearning, a lot of, you know, doing things that you're not used to doing, and then honestly cutting off a lot of loose ends, a lot of things that don't support, you know, where you're going. A lot of people don't know where they're going, so that's a problem. If you don't know where you're going, then, you know, you're gonna accept anything in your environment. But if you know where you're going, or you know where you want to go, there's gonna be certain things that align with that path, and there's gonna be certain things that don't align with that path, and whatever doesn't align has to fall off, or you would not be on the certain path that you want to be on to get what you want to get. So that is basically what happened with me. You know, a few years ago, I've always had friends growing up. I've always, when I was a very little girl, all the way up until 19, 20, 21, even 22, 23. And when I say I don't have friends, I'm just saying I don't have like very close, like best friends. There was a point of time in my life where I did have best friends, you know, and we would call each other best friends. But now I don't really associate that, because I'm a completely different person who I was before. So I'm honestly in that phase of where, you know, you're finding your new tribe, you're finding those people that, you know, understand you and you understand them, and you guys are just honestly frequency. Like right now, I'm again all about growth, all about learning, all about doing the right things so I can get what I want to get out of life. It takes time to find people on that wavelength. I'm basically, you know, I'm doing what the 1%ers do. So there's not a lot of people that are doing what the 1%ers do. So I also don't expect for me to, like, you know, have so many friends and, you know, have those 1%ers in my life. And not saying I'm not friends with anyone outside of the 1%. Of course, you know, I could be, but I am finding my tribe and I'm looking forward to my tribe. So in order for me to take that first step too, to, you know, open up that tribe, I think the book club was such a brilliant idea. And I'm very excited about the book club. I'm very excited for the girls because they are about to go on a wild ride. We are already in our third book. We're in our third book, and we have another book coming up. We have a vision board project that is in progress, and I'm excited. I think, you know, this club will be a lot about challenging ourselves, challenging our current beliefs, challenging, you know, what we say we can do, and, you know, basically understanding that we can do more, understanding that our potential is limitless. So again, I'm excited for this. If you are watching this, maybe one day you will get a personal invite to our book club, and I would love for you to really see what I'm talking about here. I would also show the books that we have read so far in the book club. So I'll show the books that I have read and I'll review them, and then I'll show the book club books, which is just 3 books that we have read so far, and we're going into our 4th book February 1st, which is in a few days. So I'm done chattering for now. I'm gonna get into work mode, and I hope you enjoy the behind the scenes. just finished working, at least for now. I was able to get so much stuff done. So now I'm gonna share with you all the recent books that I've read and my thoughts about each. First book that I read out of these books was The 12-Week Year. I was recommended this book by Donnie Wiggins on Instagram. I joined her mentorship, her month-to-month mentorship, and that first call, they were reading The 12-Week Year. They were like, oh yeah, this book is so good. So I always said I was gonna read it. I was gonna get it. I didn't get it right away, but I ended up getting it at the end of 2024. Honestly, it was such a good book, I have to say. I love this book. I remember reading it and I just felt so relieved. Like, this is what I wanna do. I wanna be able to accomplish so much more in 12 weeks than I would accomplish in 12 months. It just makes everything faster. It makes you more motivated, you're more inspired, you're less likely to get burnt out because you are making sure that you are rewarding yourself after the 12 weeks. So I love this book, and I did say I was gonna implement this book. I do recommend this book. If you are either wanting to run a business or you currently run a business, or even if you're honestly an employee, if you're self-employed and you want to get more done in less time, this is the book that you definitely want to get. So thank you, Donnie, for recommending this. It was a good read. The second book that I read was this book, Surrounded by Idiots. This was a really good book as well. I feel like it was a very thick read. It, contained a lot of information. I got this book because of the personality colors. I don't remember if someone recommended this book, but I do remember seeing this book. I was captivated by the title. I honestly thought it was funny. And I was like, let me read the back. So I read the back. It started talking about the different colors, basically who they are, how they're like. And I said, this would be really good to learn about myself. And also, I need to learn more about my employees and the people that I work with on a regular basis. And then also, especially since I have, at the time I didn't think this, but now that I have the book club and I have a whole nother group forming, I think this was a really good read. And it was informative, it's useful. When I think about it, when I do communicate with different type of people, I do think on this book. I do think, now I'm more understanding that everyone is not the same. I think I knew that, of course, but it's so easy to get caught up in thinking that people should just know how you are or know what you think or know, just how to be according to your standards. And reading this book made me realize that everyone is a different personality type, whether, either the red, yellow, green, or blue. For me, I think I'm mixed with 3 personality types. I think I'm red. I think I'm a lot of red. I think I am some green, and I do think I am some blue. So in the book, they did talk about that you could be, different colors together, and then you could be one color. So I think, again, I think I am like dominant. I do think I think my characteristic and my character is more a leadership type. I don't want to go with the flow. I do like things, done a certain way. Hence going back to what I first talked about with perfectionism. So yeah, I think that. And then the green, they're cool. They don't like, to ruffle people's feathers too much. They do like to, respect people. They like to consider, just other people's thoughts, suggestions. So I am like that. And then blue. Interesting. For me, I got that blue is very introverted. Blue is very analytical and precise, and I could be that because of the perfectionist. So I think I learned so much about myself, and I do think that I have learned so much about my employees, and I do think I relate to them better. Honestly, I could get, more thoughtful, which I will, especially the fact that I'm talking about it right now. So if you also have to communicate with so many people, it is good to read this because you can learn, how to deal with those relationships in the very best way. So that's that. And then I read this book, Still Like an Artist. I think this book is amazing. It's such a cute read. I love that it's like not too much I love that it's such a creative type of book, you know, like all the pages are not, you know, tiny words. There's some as you see like pictures and words here or there, but I love this because I feel like I personally know and I have learned that usually ideas are not original. If you have an idea, it's likely that it's already been used by someone else, and here you come along where you can now take the idea, or steal it per se, and make it more personal into, you know, your own style and how you are and how you look at things. So I love this book. I think this is a really cute read, especially just having it in your library. I think it's so cute. Still like an artist, I also have Austen's other books. There is Do the Work, and then there's another one that's, I don't remember what it's called right now, but I have all three of the books. There may be other books out there that I didn't get yet, but I like this. I like this book. I think it's a creative type of book, and if you're feeling like you're like stuck and you're like, I feel like I'm copying people, or I feel like, you know, I feel like this book will be refreshing for you, because you'll realize you may be copying people. However, everybody is, especially the greatest artists in the world. So that's that. Another book that I read at the end of 2024 was The Book of Moods. I love this book. I felt like I could relate to this book in a lot of ways. The girl, she talks about her life, you know, when she was 27, 28, 29. I read this book right before I turned 28 years old, which was December 5th. I just love this book. I feel like it's so interesting, you know, like her living in her apartment with her significant other, running her business is basically what I'm doing. I am living with my significant other. I run my business. And honestly, I go through different moods on a regular basis. I cannot lie, I do. And it is refreshing to know that another lady like me, you know, she's not like me, but we are, you know, similar in the sense of how we look at life and how we view things, and honestly how we could get stressed from, like, you know, a text message that comes in and it could shift our entire mood for the rest of the night. So I love this again because it's refreshing to know that you aren't crazy. You know, sometimes I feel like, why do I feel like one moment, like sometimes I feel bipolar. Although I am getting very much better at witnessing my moods and then being able to control where that mood goes, or if I already feel a certain way. Died, so I'm just gonna go where I left off. So The Book of Moods. This is the next book that I have read and full completion. This is actually a book that I read this year, early in the 2025 year. So I read this, I believe, the first or second week of 2025. And I absolutely love this book as well. I feel like this was such a good read. It was kind of not complicated, but as I was going through the middle, like I guess I was reading this too, like in the 5 a.m. routine. So some of the information wasn't so exciting. It did feel like schoolwork for some reason, but I did get through it, and honestly, I love that I read this book. I think if you are, again, like stuck in some way, or you feel like you want to like incorporate more creativity in your daily life, creativity in your business life, this book would be a really good book, because between the morning pages and the artist dates only so far to take into consideration, you will, you know, find that inner child that can bring out that creativity in both the personal and business life. So I do love this book. It was actually recommended as a good business book. I saw a YouTuber I was watching. She honestly has a very lovely YouTube channel, by the way. I will, you know, show her here, but she said that she read this book many years ago. I was actually surprised to find out that this book has been read by many people many years ago. I already do the morning pages. I did do one artist date so far. I do need to get better at that. That's why I love this book, because it does challenge me to do things that I wasn't taking, you know, seriously. Like the artist dates, me taking care of myself, that is something that I do struggle with, because I am not only a perfectionist, but I'm a workaholic. And between being a perfectionist and a workaholic. Those two things together will have you just thinking about business or work at all costs. You wouldn't do anything, you wouldn't think about anything else but that. And I think, this puts into perspective, like, you need to think more than business if you want to go further in business. So I love this book. I do recommend it if you want to read it. And one of the last books I read of the year was the 5 a.m. Club, the year of 2024. And then going into the first week also was this book. This book seriously has changed my life in the last 5 weeks. I not only started waking up every single day at 5 a.m., but I also have been utilizing their other concepts, their other, learned models for success. And I just love this book. I feel like if anyone were to ask me, or if anyone were to tell me I am feeling not motivated, not inspired, and I just feel like I want more in life, I would tell them to read this book. I think this book is absolutely a 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5. I love it, love it, love it. I am still waking up. Like right now I am going to go to the gym, then I'm gonna come back, quickly shower, do dinner time, and I am going to bed so I can wake up tomorrow at 5 a.m. Own your morning, elevate your life. 5 a.m. Club. Love this book, and I would definitely recommend this book. So that is the books that I read last year. I do have 3 books from the book club. Oh, actually, I also read this book. So this was one of the most recent books that I read about 2 weeks ago. I did not finish yet. I am halfway through, so I have my bookmark here. I'm halfway through this book. Very good book, lots of information. I wanted to read this book because obviously the title, Sell Like Crazy. We're at that point now where we want to make a certain amount of sales this year, a certain amount of revenue this year. We want to help as much families as we can within Incredible Sitters. And let me get this really quick. This book, again, we want to get to a certain revenue threshold this year. So I am all about this book. We are actually already implementing things in this book. We have a copywriter on our team, so I am actually very excited to finish this book so I can communicate further with him about what else we could implement and should implement so we can achieve our goals for this year. So those are the books for that. And then the book club, so we have read 3 books so far in the book club. The first book, let me actually move these. The first book was this book. This book, amazing. The 5 laws of stratospheric success, we are already implementing in my personal business. And I hope that the girls are also implementing these laws as well too. We have been talking about these laws since I have finished reading this book. And this book was our December book of the month. So this is definitely a must read. I feel like if you have a business or if you don't have a business. I remember coming across the laws when I was very early in business and it did not resonate with me until I just read it a few years later, which is now in December 2024. So love this book, definitely will recommend this book. The second book we read was this book, Tuesdays with Maury. Very interesting read. I also love this book. It's interesting, as I'm saying, because it's about a dying man and it just puts life into perspective. We're not promised every single day. God forbid, anything can happen at any point of time. And how are we gonna feel? Are we gonna feel like we lived a life well lived, or are we gonna feel very regretful for many things that we did not do? So if you're in a rut and you are for some reason feeling like your life is just passing you by, I do think this book is a really good read. I was caught off guard by this book because I did not know it was about this. This was actually one of the other girls' recommendation in a book club, and this was her choice to read this book. So it was good. I liked it, and I wouldn't have changed that. Again, it just caught me off guard, but I love it. I feel like I do look at my life now, even more precious, because like Maury said, you just never know. So that's that. So that was January book of the month. This is also January book of the month. So we end up finishing Tuesdays with Maury within the first 2 weeks, which we could have finished this in maybe a day because of how small it is. So the girls wanted to challenge ourselves, so we ended up picking another book for January, and this was the chosen book. So this is actually a book that goes with the 5 a.m. club. So reading this was amazing. Reading this, I actually just finished this book today, and it was amazing. Seriously, like it took me 2 weeks to read it. I could have read it shorter as well too, but we were reading it with the book club, and it's a lot of, you know, journaling prompts in here, which makes you think a lot about just everything it's mentioning, you know, like how you're living your life, you know, you being a leader, you challenging yourself, you stepping out of your comfort zone, you know, believing that you can do so much more than what you're doing now, a greater impact, and how you can make that, how all humans have greatness within them, you know, and it's our birthright to be great. So definitely love this book. I'm actually excited to put this in so I have a review spreadsheet where I review all the books. I, you know, answer certain questions just so I can make sure that I remember the important information, and then I take that important information and implement it in my life right away. So something I already implemented was ice cold showers. That was something that I felt that could challenge myself besides waking up at 5 a.m. So I took a cold shower today, and it was actually very exhilarating, and I look forward to challenging myself more and more and more as the weeks go by. But that is all for Brittney's book club books. We are now reading, we have a book now. This book, we'll be reading The Mountain Is You for February 1st, and I'm excited. I'm excited to read this book. This book was trending. I went to the book club. I went to Barnes & Noble and a local bookstore, and they did not have this book. When I went to Amazon, this was like on back order. So I finally ended up getting it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to read this with the girls and learning how I may be sabotaging myself and how I can get out of my own way. So I'm very excited about that. But that is all. I am honestly beat right now. I feel like I had such a long day. I have a long day tomorrow. Not calling that, but every day is a long day, especially in business, which is amazing and good, especially with the demand that we're experiencing at the moment. But yeah, I am gonna go work out. I'll show you guys a few other books that I plan on reading coming up besides this one, because there is other books that I would be reading by myself. I have a reading goal this year. I would love to read, I'll say 60 books this year, and that is being on the minimum side. At least 60 books I want to read this year. If I read more, and when I read more, that would be even all the greater. But right now I'm focusing on 60 books, and I will be implementing something in each book. So stay tuned when I do mention in the other videos how I will be implementing, or what I have implemented in my life according to the book I have just read. I am looking forward to that, and I am now gonna go to the gym. So talk to you later. So, because my camera died, I am actually gonna wrap up this video sooner than I expected, because I can't take you guys with me to the gym, and unfortunately, I think I should just wrap up this video so we can move on to the next video. So I am very much excited about this new journey with all of you. I, again, want to say, you know, I am done with the perfectionist era. I'm very excited again, you know, to be on YouTube now. As you guys see, I'm like, you're probably thinking like, what is she talking about, the perfectionist era? Like, I am done with it. You see like my desk, everything is kind of like, you know, whatever. My hair is like not done. I haven't done my hair in like a month or two. I have a missing nail that you guys probably didn't even see. And you know, look at this stain. Like, I am basically just letting you know that I am not letting my perfectionism ruin my life anymore. I am not waiting for things to be perfect. I am just gonna jump out there, of course, still calculated, I am still gonna do my due diligence, because you know, I'm not gonna be one of those people that are just, you know, going with the flow. That's still not my personality. However, I am not gonna overthink things. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna overthink the process. I'm gonna do it. And if I don't like the turnout, I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna continue doing it until I continue getting better and better and better as I am learning and as as I am growing. So I hope this video and me saying all of that helps you to get out of your own way. Stop allowing, maybe your thing is not being a perfectionist. Maybe your thing is just thinking either too small. Maybe your thing is, some limiting beliefs that you may be holding. Maybe you just don't believe in yourself. Whatever it is, get that out of your way and start going towards that life that you want to live. For me, I see myself as a very, very successful businesswoman, speaker, innovator. I see myself, running the #1 book club in the world because I'm like that. Same thing with my business. I see us being the #1 in the childcare industry. I also see myself as a successful YouTuber now. This is very new to me. As I am saying. And yes, I, will not be as perfect as maybe I think I should be, or maybe I will make mistakes. Maybe, some of you may be thinking I do look crazy. Like, I don't want to come out here like looking like Brittney, I want to have my hair done. I want to have maybe my makeup better. Maybe I want to have on like more jewelry, maybe better clothing. So that wraps up this video. I look forward to seeing all of you the next time. On my next video, I do aim to have maybe 1 video a week to start out with, and then we'll increase it to 1. Then we'll increase my videos that I release, which would be about 2 to 3 times a week, because I do want to get aggressive in this space. So you guys can learn so much more about me. I can learn more about you, and we conquer and achieve our dreams and goals together. I'm excited with you, and I'm excited for you. So until next time, I will be showing the books that I'll be reading coming up as this video ends. So stay tuned to see the books that I'll be reading soon and that are on my to be read list. Until next time, until next video, take care.